On November 9th, Russian occupiers shot an unarmed, wounded Ukrainian serviceman. 2 days later, it became known that Russian soldiers had killed 2 more prisoners of war. Before that, in October, they executed 4 people near Selidovo in the Donetsk region and the wounded Ukrainian serviceman in the Bakhmut direction. The execution of 16 Ukrainian prisoners of war in the Pokrovsk direction was the most massive since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Russia is deliberately and demonstratively violating the Geneva Conventions and norms of international humanitarian law, the Ukrainian Parliamentary Commissioner for Human Rights, Dmytro Lubinets, has said.
The Russians are doing this deliberately. I have a few arguments why. First of all, to tie Russian soldiers with blood so that they do not surrender, so that they realize that they are war criminals. If they execute Ukrainian prisoners of war, then, when they surrender, they understand that exactly the same sin will be done to them.
According to the Office of the Prosecutor General of Ukraine, law enforcers are investigating several dozens of criminal proceedings over the killing of Ukrainian prisoners of war. At the same time, the Russian army carried out about 80% of the executions in 2024, according to the reports of the UN Human Rights Monitoring Mission on the killing and systematic torture of Ukrainian prisoners of war at all stages of their captivity in Russia. The European Commission has repeatedly stated that such a blatant violation of Geneva Conventions is unacceptable.
There are many stories of prisoners of war who returned home with various signs of torture. We see that Russia is increasing the executions of Ukrainian POWs, which also violates all laws. We cannot just look at these crimes, we have to take Ukraine's side. Josep Borrell, Vice President of the European Commission.
Experts believe that the appearance of videos of executions of Ukrainian prisoners of war online is not accidental. This is a traditional terrorist tactic that has long been practiced by the Kremlin. Dmytro Lubinets believes that Russia is trying to demonstrate the ineffectiveness of the international humanitarian law system.
They don't give a damn about international humanitarian law, about the Geneva Conventions. The Russians have now adopted the tactic of destroying the existing system of international humanitarian law, showing that it doesn't exist. It needs to be changed, and during these changes, they will probably promote their own interests. For example, increasing the number of countries, permanent members of the UN Security Council, from those countries that support the Russian Federation, and this is very dangerous for all of us.
In October 2024, in Canada, the participants of the Ministerial Conference on Human Dimension of the Peace Formula endorsed the Montreal Commitment. The parties agreed to work towards the return of all captured and illegally deported Ukrainians. According to Canadian Foreign Minister, Qatar, Vatican, South Africa, Lithuania and United Arab Emirates have committed to the return of Ukrainian children and captives. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Yulia Granovska, UATV News.